Welcome to the Sisters of the Shire Podcast, where the enchanting world of J.R.R. Tolkien unfolds before us. I'm Abby, ready to discover the wonders of the unfinished tales with you all this season.
I'm Ashley, your guide through the rich landscapes of Middle-earth, and I am eager to share the many insights and stories of the great J.R.R. Tolkien that has captured imaginations around the world for years.
Whether you are a longtime fan or just beginning your journey, our podcast is full of fun and engaging conversations and clear explorations of Tolkien's intricate world. So let's go!
Let's go! How are you, Abby? You sound a little under the weather?
No, it's because of the weather. It's springtime in Oregon, and it kills me. I've mentioned this many times before on this podcast, but I live in a very agriculture, farmland area. It pretty much tries to murder me every year. And
yeah,
right now,
and your son.
It
poor
feels
fox.
like, yeah, and my son, my poor son. Every time I breathe, it feels like when you jump into a chlorinated pool and you don't plug your nose and it like shoots up your sinuses and it burns. That's what it feels like to be me right now. Sucks to be me right now.
Sucks to be you right now. I'm so sorry.
But it's full soccer season right now, so I have to be outside, and it's it's so rough because it's also really pretty outside, and I've been waiting for the sunshine for so long. But I want to go outside, and outside hurts me, and I don't want to go outside. And no, I feel bad because my poor son, he's 10 years old. What 10-year-old boy doesn't want to go play out in the sunshine outside, you know? Like, we don't have video games at our house very much, and we just like, you know, he's very much an outside kid. And he goes and plays. We were playing outside for like 10 minutes, and he's like, I'm done. I quit. I'm out. And then he like went back inside, and he put a wet towel over his face on the bed and just laid there for like 20 minutes because his eyes were swelling up, and he was sneezing like 50 times. And he's a husk. He's a husk of a boy.
Oh, poor thing.
So it's gorgeous outside. I can enjoy the window. It's beautiful.
Yesterday was our first like really good sunny day, and so my husband is actually he is gone for work out of the country
continent.
But I'm like, I really should do something with Lizzie outside. Like, I know she would like, you know, that's what her daddy would do. But I'm like, it's going to kill me.
Outside bad, inside good.
Inside good. Joey was onto something there.
Yeah. So the pollen is trying to murder us. So I apologize if you hear a lot of in the background. I'll try to keep it to a minimum. But my brain,
and I also have
running off 90% pollen right now. So,
and I also have a Lizzie in the background, and she is in a rocking chair, so that's gonna make all sorts of noise, I'm sure.
Also, happy St. Patrick's Day. We are recording on St. Patrick's Day.
St. Patrick's Day.
To all those who celebrate, happy St. Patrick's Day. I don't know if you guys, a lot of other people out there do this, but we made leprechaun traps. It's a tradition where my kids try to make a trap, usually out of like a cardboard box or something, and stickers and glitter and some sort of like trapping element last year it was like a false floor that went through to like a pit of their box, to trap the sneaky leprechauns and to make sure that they leave their gold, which is mostly chocolate coins, which I'm pretty excited about. And I have to tell that my daughter, who's 8, made a leprechaun trap this year, and it was kind of like a tunnel of love ride situation where
I don't know. It was like a I don't want to say Lady of the Night, but it was kind of that scenario.
Like, it was a building, and she had cut and she drew cute little leprechaun ladies with like red pigtails and pretty dresses and like curly pointed shoes, and she drew them and she stuck them to the back wall of her trap, and then in the middle of the room, quote quote,
as
of the trap,
Lady of the Nights do, stand against the wall. I'm just saying.
Yeah, there was a wall of sticky clear tape that actually was really hard to see. If you didn't like hit it in the right light, you couldn't really see it, so that if they want to walk up to that pretty lady leprechaun, they would get stuck like a fly on flypaper on the tape.
Okay, no, you have to say what was on the outside of the box, though. Like now without getting that little
the outside, she wrote like signage.
But you have to say what
she wrote like
on the outside.
She wrote signage on the outside of her box. I was kind of like those flashing neon signs, like "Enter here," but it was like the doorway. Around the doorway, it said the building was called Love Time, which also amazing. Second, it says, "Come on in to find the love of your life, to be married."
Well,
like, things like that.
First thought is like it sounds like a strip club, but then you say to be married, and so maybe it's like a Vegas one.
Yeah, a Vegas flashy chapel. But yeah, they escaped this year. They didn't. They did leave the lady leprechaun a smooch, and then they scampered on out. But they did leave their gold. They left their gold, so the kids were satiated that way, at least. But
yes,
Fox's is a little bit more medieval.
We'll
His
see.
had like push pins
A guillotine.
in it. No, more like Indiana Jones. Like if they like stepped on it, like they would come through the floor, come through the ceiling, like pointy sticks, things like that. So it was pretty, yeah.
That adds up though for a girl and a boy trap. Like
10-year-old boy.
This is how a girl thinks, and this is how a boy thinks.
At least my kids do. But it was pretty funny. So, but we got some gold, which they were pretty excited for. So if you celebrate St. Patrick's Day, happy St. Patrick's Day.
Happy St. Patrick's Day, and share your celebrations if you're going out with friends, or if you have kids that that made leprechaun traps. I can talk. We'd love to hear it. It's a fun holiday.
Yeah, it's fun. It's cute.
I wonder what kind of leprechaun traps Tolkien's kids made. Do you think they made leprechaun traps?
Well, they probably had like fairy, like they went try to go find fairies and leprechauns.
Yeah, I could see that.
I could see them totally doing that as little kids. So they lived in a magical place. Why wouldn't they? They were so beautiful outside. Right? Of course, they think that fairies lived out there.
Well, speaking of our main man, Tolkien, how much do you remember of last week?
He got a shiny armor. I remember that. He got his pretty armor.
We went over armor a lot. Yes.
He got a new fit. He was feeling it. He was like, "Ooh, this is the new me. This is the new me." And he like my version is that he tried it on like the Grinch from the movie The Grinch, and he's like, "Ooh,
oh,
ah." And the birds.
Oh, I'm not going.
Yeah. The birds are like, yeah. They're like applauding. They're like, woo, you look great.
Or in my head, Dumb and Dumber with the suits.
Or just like an 80s montage where like they're in a dressing room and they come out and they're like, no. And then it comes out with another outfit. They're like, maybe. And then they come out with the last one. They're like, that's it. That's you.
That's the one.
That's the one. Or that's one of my favorite scenes in The Wedding Singer when they're doing the...
I was literally thinking of The Wedding Singer.
When the Boy George character
and had the same childhood.
The Boy George character comes out and he's like, yes, I chose the actress.
Yes.
That's my favorite. I need to watch a movie. Anyway, so he got some fancy armor.
Some fancy armor.
In a magical, mythical ruin of a castle or some place. I mean, how much more like, it is written and you will find your armor and it will fit you perfectly. It will be your color.
And your favorite bird will be on it.
Yeah. And it fits.
So he wandered around the ruins a bit. He put on the armor, and then he's like, once he put on the armor, it's like he knew his destiny was out there. Like he got all serious.
It's Kronk. Feel the power, Kronk. Oh,
yes, I can feel it.
Yeah.
Yes. And then he went down to the sea, or the swans all said goodbye to him, and somehow magically, I still want to know how a swan would do this, hand over one of their feathers. He puts them in his helmet, which we also can't decide how he would do that either. But I found some pictures where I saw differing ways that the feather could be in the helmet. And then he goes to the sea, and a storm starts a brewing.
That would be terrifying. I'm sorry.
And
that would be...
That's
I have a healthy respect of the ocean, and that would be like... But the cool thing was that I remember from the Silmarillion is that who left the armor? Like, who left it there? Turgon, because ULMO was like, this needs to be set aside for someone special. Not you. Someone else.
Yeah.
I think Turgon was like, oh, man. Like, it's like, but I'm right here. It's like, no. I
want the shiny armor.
Not you.
This guy's actually going to save your butt.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where we left things. Tuor was on the beach, and a crazy ocean storm is starting, and then he sees something standing. Quote, dark against the riding storm, a living shape of great height and majesty.
Terrifying. I'm sorry. That would be like what Cthulhu, like, or some like Godzilla, like coming out of the ocean. Like, oh, we didn't find that GIF or the picture of
the Hercules.
Of Hercules when he's like,
yes,
screams and runs away. Yeah. Because his dad's huge.
So he could have taken the Hercules approach, as we discussed last episode. Be completely freaked out and try and run for it.
But he's wearing a special armor that's giving him bravery.
Yes, but you just said that, and I'm like, but armor would make him sink faster. Like if the storm did take him up.
True.
Sorry, that's where my brain went. Okay, so he doesn't run. Instead, quote, Tuor bowed in reverence, for it seemed to him that he beheld a mighty king. A tall crown he wore like silver, from which his long hair fell down as foam glimmering in the dusk.
Ooh, that'd be cool to see. Okay. I guess that's cool.
Yeah. So, since we did the Silmarillion version of this scene and other times that we've talked about our man ULMO, there had been debate in my brain. Is he more like a huge giant man, or other ones show him more like water that just happens to have human shape. When you picture Ulmo, what does he look like to you?
I think he looks like he's made out of things out of the ocean, like
kind of like a Pirates of the Caribbean kind of thing.
Like his beard is like foam and like
pretty
seaweed, you know, or it's like or his beard. Oh, you know, that would be really cool if his beard looked like rushing water all the time. Like it just like had that kind of like illusion where it just looked like it was rushing like a stream over rocks or something, but that was his beard and his hair.
Okay. I like it.
And then his eyes are of course like a stormy ocean color or like a sea green. And I feel like he has the power to be a human form, like because he is a god, like he could change to be a human, like size and flesh and blood and looks like that. But when he's in the ocean, he's like huge
himself.
And, the true Ulmo. And he has like kind of greenish, bluish, gray skin, like the color of the ocean.
Okay.
What if it changes? What if it changes with this mood of like when oceans turn stormy and stuff, and he's like stormy and things like that? That would be cool.
That would be really cool. Also, I'm like picturing a giant man with gray skin, and that looks really terrifying in my brain.
And he's also ripped.
Yeah, of course. That's okay.
Yeah.
Terrifying.
Yes. And his voice maybe sounds like it could either be like trickling like a stream, like really like soft and calming, or it could be scary like the ocean.
Oh, in my head it's 100% scary, but he just has like a booming voice. It's not like mean. So that's how you picture him. So we're actually going to get a bit more because this is the Unfinished Tales version. We are going to get a bit more, and I'm here for it.
Okay.
Are you ready?
All right. Okay.
Quote, "And as he cast back the gray mantle that hung about him like a mist, behold, he was clad in a gleaming coat, close fitted as the mail of a mighty fish, and in a kirtle of deep green that flashed and flickered with sea fire as he strode slowly towards the land."
What's sea fire?
Okay, I had so many questions here. And we're learning so much about medieval clothing and armor this season because do you know what a kirtle is? Kirtle.
Is it a like belt?
No. So when I just so sometimes I'll like type a word and just like right click on the Google Doc that I'm using for my outline, and I'll just like define this one. The first thing that showed up was a women's petticoat, and I'm like, I don't think that's right.
He lifts his skirt and he has petticoats on, and he's you know, when you tromp through in like a puddle or something and they lift up their skirts like ding 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 ding. He's like, I don't want to get wet.
But then I went to the Google, and apparently there's a men's version as well. So basically the women's version is like, you think of like a medieval, very plain dress, just like long sleeve, ankle, floor length dress. Very like, not slim cut, but just no shape to it really.
So it's I feel very like Celtic, like how they used to wear like you know, not really like a kilt, but they kind of wore more, what is the word? I see it in my brain. Kind of like a toque.
Well, you think of like
kind of
any,
but it's not a toque.
No. So this is very simple. So like there's no corset, there's no, you know, cleavage. It's just very, very simple. You think of like almost like what a nun would wear, like, but just like tight sleeves and then just down basically.
So what you wear
the men's version
under everything. Yeah.
But it was still like almost the dress, like they came in colors. It wasn't just white, but
like a tunic.
Yeah, you could, like a tunic.
Okay.
But I was looking at it, and some of the men's versions, they were more like mid-thigh length or like ankle floor length.
Whoa,
So
what do you think for ULMO? Like, is he rocking some thigh? Is he showing some thigh?
Well, like you think like the ankle floor, you think of like it looked a lot like a monk almost. And they just have a belt. The belt somehow makes it look less like a dress for some reason. It's
shapeless, but it doesn't have okay.
But then for the mid-thigh length, it looks like a very oversized shirt, but only just in the length. So think like Link or any medieval type male. So it's like a tunic that covers their butt.
I think he's showing some size. He's like, I work out. I want to show this off.
So that's what a kirtle is. So gleaming coat with close fitted as the mail of a mighty fish and a kirtle of deep green.
So is it kind of like a cool robe that's like misting all around him, and it looks from far away that it looks like a robe, but then it's not solid. Like it's like misty. And then the other part is shimmery like scales, like a fish. That'd be cool. I'm not mad about that. That'd be cool. I'd be like, whoa.
Yeah. So, and then, sea fire. Maybe this is like a medieval thing. Maybe this is a European thing. Never heard it in my life. On further research, all I could connect it to is ocean fires. And apparently there's this strange phenomenon that has been happening for like centuries that occurs randomly. And it's making me like one more thing to fear in life. When flammable gases seep out of the seafloor and they ignite upon contact with oxygen in the water.
And they
so just like out of the blue.
Time, right?
Yeah. So like just out of the blue, fire on the ocean. Like
there you go.
Cool.
You think this couldn't happen, but it's happening.
Yeah. Like spontaneous combustion. It's like another thing for fear to list.
Yeah.
Ocean fires. But then I also found another source that listed sea fires as a bioluminescent glow produced by phosphorescent marine organisms. So that makes more sense to me. Like along with this kirtle of deep green, flashing bioluminescent glows, kind of like accented. I can see that more than just fire. But also, I would never call bioluminescent glow. I would refer to that as fire. So I'm not sure where that term comes from.
They don't have the like bioluminescent algae that when you like hit the water it like glows, like that plankton that like
oh yeah, I've seen it. It's amazing.
I know,
and I've seen it in real life. Fire is the last word I would use for it. I would say sparkly.
Sparkly.
The sea sparklies.
So
anyways,
okay, so it's always going to be a mystery to us then. What sea fire is?
Yes. If you guys know, listening, let us know.
Ooh, can I throw in another option?
Oh, yes, please.
The sun during sunset when it hits the water and it looks all like orangey.
Okay. I like it. See, I would call that a sea fire. Sure. Yeah.
Because it looks like the sea's on fire. The sunrise or sunset. It's like,
yeah.
That would be gorgeous. Like if we saw that, that would be pretty. If your clothing was made out of what it looked like the ocean during a sunset, like the brightness of that'd be beautiful. What are you talking about? That'd be great. I'll be like, okay. Ooh, I'm sorry.
I'm here for
Pause for a second. My house smells amazing right now. I'm sorry. I'm making Irish soda bread and beef stew in a crock pot right now. Oh my gosh, my house smells amazing. Oh.
So this is the difference between Abby and I is so she made soda bread and beef stew already. I literally woke up this morning and threw a pack of little Hostess donuts at Lizzie and said, well, Mommy has to record this.
And they're on the floor and she's like scraping them up like, thank you, Mother. I'm going there.
I swear, I gave her at least a Danimals too. I'm not a monster, but
a gummy vitamin. She's fine.
She's fine. Anyways, so here is our first, this season anyway, official meeting with, I don't know, my favorite Valar. Is he your favorite Valar as well? Almost got a special place in my heart.
Arome. Well, he's got more page time. Ulmo does.
Yeah, that's true.
He does a lot more for the characters here. Like, he moves the story along.
True.
Which I'm like, Tolkien, you can totally tell who's your favorite, playing favorites of Valar.
He plays favorites so much.
But also, like, how could you not have him be a lot when he's like the ocean and the streams and water and lakes and everything? Like, he's literally everywhere, so it would be. And I still think it was Ron Swanson.
Oh, of course, 100%. And we're actually going to learn a bit more about him today. And there's something that we learned today that I'm like, I feel that on so many levels. Ulmo. Anyways, so here he comes in all of his glory. Quote, "In this manner, the dweller of the deep, whom the Noldor name Ulmo, Lord of Waters, showed himself to Tuor."
Whoa.
Don, don, don. So the phrasing of that makes me wonder if the Valar have different names than what the elves called them. Like, yeah, the elves call me Ulmo, but my real name, it's Bill.
George.
It's George. So, and the fact that they're all brothers, like, and could like call themselves stuff is just, I don't know, funny to me too. Anyway, quote, "He, Ulmo, set not foot upon the shore, but standing knee-deep in the shadowy sea, he spoke to Tuor. And then for the light of his eyes, and for the sound of his deep voice that came, as it seemed, from within the foundations of the world, fear fell upon Tuor, and he cast himself down upon the sand."
I was gonna say, if Tuor doesn't be like, oh, like, this is a little intimidating.
Yes. So I find it funny. So when it's just like a shadowy kind of thing in the storm, he kneels. He bows in reverence. But now that he can hear and see this guy, he is full on face to the sand, like.
Yeah, I mean, that's a very reasonable reaction.
Yes. Okay, so the next portion of this story involves a lot of dialogue, and it's mainly from Ulmo with some comments and response from Tuor, and I thought it would be fun to have Abby read Ulmo's lines, and then I will kind of translate them.
The narrator of what he's really saying.
Yeah. Okay, so you are the circle and I am the square.
All right.
Yes?
Let me get to it. Okay.
You're starting with arise.
Let me scroll. Okay. Oh geez. Oh goodness. Okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah, right there. Okay, and what does Ulmo sound like to you? Let's hear it.
Oh no.
Just kidding.
I know it's wise Tuor, son of Tuor. No.
It's like the Mayo. Oh, why?
My way
Tuor, son of Tuor.
Yeah. Arise, Tuor, son of Tuor. Fear not my wrath, though long have I called to thee unheard.
So this is where I step in and say, like, what he's really trying to say. Like, get up off that sand. You aren't in trouble, I guess. But, I have been waiting for you to get your butt over here.
I sent you so many birds.
Splashed all the stream water.
I know. And setting out at last, thou hast tarried on thy journey hither.
And once I finally got you to start making your way here, you sure took your sweet time, didn't you?
Yeah.
Had to look at every rock, every flower.
He slowly pulls his flower crown off, puts it behind his back, oops. In the spring thou shouldest have stood here, but now a fell winter cometh soon from the land of the enemy.
I had it all planned out for you to have a pleasant journey in the spring sunshine. The armor I designed for you is built for that season. There's no extra warmth. I hope you pack some extra socks, young man, because you are going to be cold, and I'm not sure what to do about it.
He's like, you took forever. Like, you were supposed to be here, like, months ago. That armor doesn't have sleeves. It doesn't have sleeves. It's a tank top. Hast thou must...
Sorry.
Haste. Haste thou must learn. Meaning, haste, like, hurry up. Haste thou must learn. Yeah. And the pleasant road that I designed for thee must be changed.
Did my swans teach you nothing about the importance of sticking to a schedule? Now my plans are all ruined, and I'm just going to have to come up with something else, I guess.
He has papers, and he just, like, throws them, like, duh! I have to change all this. He's on a cell phone. He's like, Marie?
I had reservations booked.
He's like, Marie? Change it back. We gotta get some different things happening here. Schedule this for me. For my counsels have been scorned, and a great evil creeps upon the valley of Sirion, and already a host of foes is come between thee and thy goal.
I tried to warn them, but no, why bother listening to me? I am only one of the mightiest beings in existence. Did you happen to run across my messengers, Tuor? The 2 elves that I sent to Nargothrond? You know, one was kind of nice and the other one was kind of mean. Yeah, well, those guys were supposed to go to Nargothrond and tell them to quit being stupid. That their stupid bridge would bring a dragon and Morgoth's forces down upon them. You just watch. It's gonna happen. And that's the army that is literally blocking the lovely path that I planned for you. But you didn't listen to me, and they didn't listen to me, and now it is all ruined.
All this work for nothing. I can see Tuor just being like, but those elves were kind of mean. There was one that was kind of mean, and like, they didn't give me a flashlight.
I'm sure I would listen to them either.
A flashlight. I was like stuck in the dark. Honestly, you should
maybe
talk
could have
to them.
Some better messengers.
Yeah, you should talk to them because, like, I feel like that was on them. Okay, so this is Tuor speaking now, and he goes,
"Yes.
What then is my goal, Lord?"
So here's the where did you want me to go? Anyways, Lord, sir, I'm sorry I didn't listen. I'm listening now.
I don't speak.
Where did you want me to go?
Well. Their sign language with their wings doesn't really translate very well.
We tried Morse, but they just got confused and wanted to eat.
Yeah. And Ulmo says, this is Ulmo again, that which thy heart hath ever sought, to find Turgon and look upon the hidden city.
That which my heart hath ever sought? You mean Disneyland? Oh, wait, I mean, yeah, Turgon. Hidden city. For sure, that thing. That thing, not the other thing.
Yeah. For sure. For thou art arrayed thus to be my messenger, even in the arms which long ago I decreed for thee. Yet thou must under shadow pass through peril. Ba-ba-ba.
So I can just see Tuor being here like, wait, what? No one said anything about peril. Wait, what?
I want
peril?
The peril. I want him. He's like, I'm going to go back to that cool place I found earlier. That place is rad. I'm going to go back there. I don't want peril.
Seriously.
So he's saying like, I gave you this armor. And he's like, yeah, this is pretty sweet. Thanks for this armor. Fits great. My color. Like, I love it. It's great. So almost says, wrap thyself therefore in this cloak, and cast it never aside, until thou come to thy journey's end.
Good catch. Sorry, sometimes I type this at night and autocorrect takes over when I'm typing the quote thing. So good catch. Like here, I'll just rip off this little section of my cloak here. Okay, look, see, and look how little it is on you, or look how it is on you. It was tiny for me, but you're just a tiny human person. So look at that little piece, just covers you from head to toe. You humans are so adorable.
That's so cute, though. That'd be adorable.
But also, I just had this thought, like, here he is with this nice, shiny, cool armor, and in my head, the cloak is like 100% like a ghillie suit. Like, just kind of like rough, seaweedy, kind of
probably
like...
stinks.
Probably stinks. And he's like, can I just wear the nice, pretty armor? I don't want to cover this up. Like,
and there's like fish like stuck in it, like flopping around. It's like...
yeah.
He's like, oh, okay. Thus thou shalt walk under my shadow, but tarry no more. For in the lands of Anar, is it Anar or Anar? In the
I like Anar.
fire, sorry, there's a demon outside my door. In the fires of Melkor it will not endure. Wilt thou take up my errand?
So, like, you can have my stealth ninja sneaky cloak, but you got to be careful. It doesn't work in the sun. I probably should have just said that instead of Anar, and confused you. And obviously, it will probably burn to ashes in any fire, let alone the fires of Melkor, because he's probably not gonna. He's a little jealous of me. So, but really, like, please don't make me sick the swans on you. You got to pick up the pace. So are you going to do it or not? Because I made you the armor and everything. You haven't even said thank you. So I feel like it's really the least you could do.
Tuor then says, I will, Lord.
Like, sure. I mean, I guess I always wanted to go there, but you made it sound kind of scary to get there. It's like peril and like fires of Melkor thing. So
you're not really selling it here.
I guess, yeah. I mean, like, do I really have a choice? Can I go back to that cool echoing thing? No? Yeah. Oh, okay.
ULMO says, then I will set words in thy mouth to say unto Turgon.
Like, Tuor here, you're going to put what in my mouth?
But I first will teach thee, and some things thou shalt hear, which no man else hath heard, nay, not even the mighty among the Eldar.
I'm going to let you in on some classified knowledge here, buddy. Not even most elves have the clearance to hear what you're about to hear, so brace yourself. Okay, so let's start with Valinor. Well, it was really cool there until it got really dark because of Melkor and this scary spider and stuff. And then this elf, Vinyamar, went all crazy and led this mass exodus from Valinor to Middle-earth. But along the way, they kind of massacred their cousins for some escape boats and got cursed in the process. And then us, Valar and Valinor, were like, yeah, we are kind of done with all that drama. You guys can keep it on Middle-earth. And so, boom, Valinor went into stealth mode.
ULMO then says, but behold, in the armor of fate, as the children of earth named it, there is ever a rift, and in the walls of doom a breach, until the full making, which ye call the end.
Like, I guess even the best laid plans of fate or doom doesn't always work out, but honestly, I haven't been up above the water in quite some time. I could be talking a bit cryptically. I'm not used to this much oxygen. A little loopy. Am I speaking in riddles yet? That can happen sometimes.
He takes a puffer fish like a inhaler.
That was really funny.
So it shall be while I endure a secret voice that gainsayeth. I don't know what that means, but I used it. It is a pretty cool word. And a light where darkness was decreed. Therefore, though in the days of this darkness I seem to oppose the will of my brethren, the lords of the West, that is my part among them, to which I was appointed ere the making of the world.
as long as I'm around, I'm going to be the rebel here. The other Valar might not like it. But hey, that's kind of my job. I was born to zig when they zagged, so that's kind of my thing.
I'm the rebel. I'm a rebel, daddy. Yet doom is strong, and the shadows of the enemy lengthens, and I am diminished until in Middle-earth I am become now no more than a secret whisper. Whoa.
I fight the good fight to change things, but, I'm only one person, entity, being, thing. But still, even when I try to change or fix things to prevent bad things happening, people don't freaking listen. Like you. No one listens to me. Soon, no one will even know who I am. Nothing more than a legend, a myth, just forgotten.
I'm just going to be painted on some wall somewhere and in some ruin of a castle, and no one's going to know, or some tapestry that's probably ugly. I don't know. No one's going to remember me. The waters that run westward wither, and their springs are poisoned, and my power withdraws from the land.
From that land.
The land. For elves and men grow blind and deaf to me because of the might of Melkor.
Like, sure, you pay attention to my brother Melkor, but what about me? All he does is bad stuff, like poison my beautiful water and make the streams all dry up, and still, you'd probably listen to him. I bet if he told you not to build a stupid bridge or to get to the ocean by the spring, Tuor, you would listen to him.
Yeah, he's probably cool. Probably wears a leather jacket. It's like, that guy's cool. He's a motorcycle. And now the curse of Mandos hastens to its fulfillment, and all the works of the Noldor shall perish, and every hope which they build shall crumble.
And on top of everything else, my friends, the Noldor, well, because they did some bad stuff, soon they're going to have to start getting punished for it. Like, can you believe it? Like, they were my buddies. It was a long time ago. It was mainly just one bad guy, but, they're all going to get punished for it.
They were new. They're basically baby brains. They were like, they didn't know what they were doing.
Yeah.
The last hope alone is left. The hope that they have not looked for and have not prepared. And that hope lieth in thee, for so I have chosen.
It's all on you, kid.
I can see him like looking over his shoulder, like, oh, me? Me?
Yeah.
That's who you're talking to? Oh. All right. So Tuor says, then shall Turgon not stand against Morgoth, as all the Eldar yet hope? And what wouldest thou of me, Lord, if I come now to Turgon?
Can't Turgon be your one hope instead? He seems way more qualified. He's an Eldar, and I'm just a man.
Is Turgon an elf or a man?
Yes, elf.
Elf. Okay. All right, just to clear that in my brain.
Yep.
Tuor says,
You're good.
For though I'm sorry, the reason why I asked is because I don't hear a lot of elves with a T name, and I only hear humans with T names.
Yeah.
So I was like,
yeah, that's true.
Elf or human? Anyway.
Yeah, no, you're good.
Tuor then says, for though I am indeed willing to do as my father and stand by that king in his need, yet of little avail shall I be, a mortal man alone, among so many and so valiant of the high folk of the West.
So I'm not saying I'm not willing to go. Yeah, I'm not saying that. But if you review my resume, my skills, and experience, my life expectancy, it doesn't seem to meet your last hope hero kind of job description, ULMO. So
his resume is like, my parents orphaned me by choice. I lived in a cave.
Lives in caves.
For a long
Can live
time.
in caves. Not used to working with others.
Easily distracted by butterflies. really loves birds.
Yes.
ULMO says, if I choose to send thee, Tuor, son of Hor, then believe not that thy one sword is not worth the sending. Oh, I like that. That's pretty good.
Right? But like, you think I would have waited for you all this time? Spent all that time trying to lead you here if I didn't think you were worth it? Come on, Tuor.
I can see him like pinching the bridge of his nose, again, I'm trying to tell you, I've done all of this for you. Do you think I didn't think this through and really pick out the person that was going to do it? Or he's trying to gentle parent him, like, oh, don't talk about yourself that way. No, you don't do that around here. You're great. You're trying your hardest. ULMO says, for the valor.
Yeah, I know.
The valor of the Edain, the elves shall ever remember as the age's length, marveling that they gave life so freely, of which they had on earth so little.
I kind of love that, but also, like, you men folks sure are brave for beings that die so easily.
You're so fragile. You and your human bones and human organs, and human lifespan.
Yes.
But it is not for thy valor only that I send thee, but to bring into the world a hope beyond thy sight, and a light that shall pierce the darkness.
Really? I just need your unborn child. I mean, I need you. Oh, what's that? I can't hear you. The storm is all of a sudden really getting loud behind me. It's like it's time for me to randomly and abruptly leave. Oh, what? I'm in a tunnel.
Oh no, it's breaking up. He's just splashing the water really loud. Oh darn!
I can see you doing that.
Yeah. Well, it's getting crazy over here. Go now, lest the sea devour thee, which I can control, and probably it doesn't have to. But for Osei obeys the will of Mandos, and he is wroth, being a servant of the doom.
You better get out of here before Osei goes all crazy. You never freaking know with that guy. He is temperamental at his best.
He's like literally in a hammock on that one island with the rest of the elves. He's like, doesn't even know what's going on. He's like, huh? Wait, what?
I'm supposed to be doing what now?
Yeah. He's a puka shell necklace on. He's got he's just
coconut drink. Yeah.
He's like, oh, I don't do that anymore, but okay. And Tuor says, as thou commandest, but if I escape the doom, what word shall I say unto Turgon?
Oh yeah, that sounds bad. But if I do somehow make it to Turgon, what did you want me to say again?
He has a little notepad.
I was totally paying attention. But tell it to me all over again because I forgot.
Yeah, because I wasn't listening. He pulls out a little notepad, writing it down. He takes one of the feathers out of his helmet to use a little pen. ULMO says, if thou come to him, then the words shall arise in thy mind, and my mouth shall speak as I would. Speak and fear not, and thereafter do as thy heart and valor lead thee.
So I've actually already programmed it into your brain exactly what to say, but after that, just go with it, man. You got it. Just
improvise.
Whatever you feel like saying. Improvise, yeah.
Okay. Hold fast to my mantle, for thus shalt thou be guarded.
Don't lose your new sweater I made for you, sweetie. I don't want you getting cold now.
It has a T knitted into it for Tuor. It has his name written on the tag.
Like a Weasley sweater?
Yeah.
Aww.
And I will send one to thee out of the wrath of Osei, and thus shalt thou be guided. Yea, the last mariner of the last ship that shall seek into the west until the rising of the star. Go now back to the land.
Oh, yeah. I guess you'll need a tour guide. I could use the birds again or the water, but you didn't seem to really respond to those really well. So I guess I could just save one of the guys from this ship that Ose is about to wreck. That should do. Poor guys. They thought they would make it to Valinor, but that's not going to happen until your little baby son becomes a star. Oh, no, I've said too much. Oh, you should probably go now.
Reminds me of Hagrid when he's like, oh, I shouldn't have said that. I should not have said that. Tuor then says, I go, Lord, yet now my heart yearneth rather to the sea.
Like, I'm going. But even though the ocean is getting kind of scary with the storm raging and the thunder and the lightning, I kind of like to stay by the sea. And this journey kind of sounds like I'll be going, I don't know, away from the sea.
And then he sprays water at him. And he's like, oh, okay. All right.
There's your sea.
Yeah. Okay.
So the dialogue is pretty much over at this point because Ulmo literally responds to Tuor by lifting up a mighty horn and blowing upon it a single great note. Which, on one hand, I kind of want to take as Ulmo going, what? I can't hear you over the noise of this epic storm and my cool horn.
Don't mess us up. I literally did this for you, please.
But it seems with that one note, Tuor becomes kind of entranced by the music. I'm not sure if it's just one long note or just like a.
So it's a pew pew pew.
Quote, and as he, Tuor, heard that note and was encompassed by it and filled with it, and it seemed to Tuor that the coasts of Middle-earth vanished, and he surveyed all the waters of the world in a great vision, from the veins of the lands to the mouths of the rivers, and from the strands and estuaries out into the deep. The great sea he saw through its unquiet regions, teeming with strange forms, even to its lightless depths, in which amid the everlasting darkness there echoed cries terrible to mortal ears.
Whoa.
Like, that sounds so freaking cool. It's literally, like, I think of it like when people are doing those, like, 3D things on the computer and they can just, like, pick things up and just, like, pull them up, like, separate them from the things. And it's just, like, a huge map of all the water.
Oh. Or it's, like, Tony Stark's cool, like, mat, like, stuff in front of himself. Like, he can pull things with his hands and, like, move them around.
Yes, I like that. But I thought it was interesting here. Like, so, as of right now, and I never understood this in the, like, even in the Rings of Power show too, like, Ulmo is the master of the sea, right? Like, you would think that he wouldn't want bad creatures or anything scary in the sea. Like, Ose has to do his thing for the sake of, fate or whatever. But, like, he saw strange forms in the dark depths of the ocean, and he also heard voices terrible to mortal ears. Like, that sounds real scary, and that is why I am never want to go like deep sea diving or anything like that, because that sounds legit terrifying.
No. The ocean is a mysterious planet.
So I'm not sure if
I'm not gonna.
So maybe it's like one of those things where it looks scary, but really they're like almost like little friends. They're like, he looks dangerous, but he's really friendly. Yeah. See that horribly terrifying echoing cry? That just means he likes you.
Yeah, he's singing.
So, anyways, Quote, its measureless plains he surveyed with the swift sight of the Valar, until, remote upon the edge of sight, and beyond the count of leagues, he glimpsed a mountain, rising beyond his mind's reach into a shining cloud, and at its feet a long surf glimmering. And even as he strained to hear the sound of those far waves and to see clearer that distant light, the note ended, and he stood beneath the thunder of the storm, and lightning rent asunder the heavens above him. And ULMO was gone, and the sea was in tumult, as the wild waves of Ose rode against the walls of Nevrest. Whoa. So, like, somehow he got, like, this, like, Valar vision where he was like flying or seeing images in my head. Like, oh, a mountain. Oh, shining clouds. Like he almost gets to, I think it's Tanaquitl, the throne of Monway on the mountain. And then it just like cuts out like right before it gets to him.
Oh, it's like when you're dreaming of something really cool and you're like, what? And then you like wake up and you're like, dang it.
Yeah. Well, that's actually where I'm going to leave you today.
Whoa. Okay, you want to know my thought? Is ULMO, he's this big kind of like Ron Swanson grumpy guy, and he's like turning around and he's like, I'm too old and I don't like making storms. Like he's like, I don't do this job anymore. Like that's not me. I'm not a young Valar anymore. And he slowly like sinks into the ocean, and Ose comes in on like a jet ski or like a like a surfboard, and he's like, yeah, and he like comes in and he's like, it's my time, and then he like shreds some killer wakes, and then that's what turns him.
And then almost like still like looks behind and he like shakes his head and starts crying. He's like, I can't watch
the riffraff. But he knows that that's Ose's job, but he's like, I should go. I let the young whippersnapper come and do the job.
I like it. Also, should we be worried that Tuor is standing on a beach in full metal when there's lightning?
And he's like, well, time to go. And he's like, good day.
Anyways, if you are enjoying our adventures through Tolkien's tales and want to keep the party going, follow us on Instagram at Sisters of the Shire Podcast. It's where all the magic happens off air, and you definitely don't want to miss out on all the cool art and funny memes that we post, because I'm not gonna lie,
they're pretty good.
I kind of like them. They're pretty good. And, you know, every Hobbit knows that a little support goes a long way. You know, you could become a patron and join our Patreon at patreon.com/Sisters of the Shire Podcast. Join our fellowship of the podcast, like our dwarf friend of the Shire, Dan, and our elf friends, Krishane and Tom. Just remember, your support helps keep our quest alive. So don't be shy. Drop us a star rating or a review. Follow us on Instagram and become part of our story. Your support might just be the very thing that helps us defeat the dark forces of podcasting expenses. Because they add up. Dun, dun, dun. So, can you believe that we kind of maybe got a new country?
Kind of maybe.
Kind of maybe. So I had to look it up. At first I thought it was a glitch, and I'm finding out that Spotify has this weird thing where people, I'm not sure if it like pulls it from their billing or their registration or where people type, if they free type their country, because there's like a Netherlands and then there's the Netherlands too. So I thought this was like a glitch thing that happened. But we had Turkey for a long time. That's been like a thing. But this is, I looked it up how to spell it. Turkey. Oh
yeah.
It's Turkiye. Apparently that's like the new name for Turkey.
Yeah.
So we have like,
I learned about this the other day because I was watching this lady talking about it, that she went to have like a surgery done over there. And I was like, that's Turkey though. Like she's talking about Turkey, but it's not pronounced that way anymore. And I think that it's only been like...
It was like 2021 or something like that. It's like fairly...
UN or something was like, it's officially not spelled Turkey anymore. It's the original, like, official name.
Right.
Which is Turkiye. Which... Right. If someone knows how to pronounce that correctly...
I found a guy on YouTube that was saying it, but now I don't remember. Like, Turkiye.
Well, we're ruining it. I'm sorry. We're butchering it.
Yeah, sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, person. But also, I want to know how much it cost your country to change the spelling of all of its things. That had to have taken.
Maybe that's how they spelled it over there all the time, and we're the ones over here that made it easier for us.
True.
Because, like, in
so welcome
Germany, they do that. They don't say Germany on things.
They say Deutschland.
Yeah, you know, or my favorite is my two favorite is in Japan. They say Japon. That's how they say Japan.
Oh, really?
That's how they say Japan. And then in India, and I'm only basing the Indian one. I'm only basing off of that I've seen like multiple Bollywood movies, and they say America. They pronounce it America.
Weird.
So it's how they...
You do you, countries.
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
So kind of a new country, but kind of not. So when I first saw it last week, it was 44th, which is like a pretty like good starting point. Because like we have a total of like 67 countries, and usually they start at the bottom. But then in just like the last week, it shot up to 34th. So I mean...
10 rankings?
Welcome, new country. I hope you enjoyed your binging session. I know. Hope you enjoyed your binging session. Keep it going.
Nice.
Also, Ukraine went up a few. Was 37th. Now it's 35th. It overtook Taiwan and Kuwait. And Iceland, continuing that spree. I still want to visit you one day. They were 31st, and now they're 27th. And the Czech Republic overtook... Yes.
I want to see that.
The Czech Republic overtook Austria and Denmark. And then it's like they freaking were in honor of St. Patrick's Day. Ireland went up, overtook Brazil and Spain, and are now 11th. They were 13th.
Woohoo!
It's like, you guys planned that. Did you guys plan that? Freaking love you, Ireland.
Thanks for listening, everyone around the world. And remember to share with your friends. We want more friends listening. Well, thank you for teaching me today.
You're welcome. Until next week, I've been Ashley.
And I've been Abby. And this has been the Sisters of the Shire podcast. And we're so glad you joined us today. And we hope you can join us next time. Bye.
Bye.